Hi everyone, my name is Melanie. For those that are new here, I have been sharing my cancer journey since I was diagnosed with nasal squamous cell carcinoma when I was 30 weeks pregnant. We delivered my baby girl at 32 weeks, and it is now 2 years later, and it has been quite a journey these last few years. For those that have been watching, thank you for continuing to just support us and care for us and ask how we've been. It has been so good to be back home. And I know I've been very sporadic with videos, but the girl is in school now and she's loving it. And it makes my mama heart so happy and it's a little bittersweet too because it makes me a little sad that she's gone for a few hours. She just goes 2 days a week for 3 hours in the morning, but we just wanted her to get that socialization time, and she's loving it. I was worried. I just dropped her off for her second day, and I was worried that maybe the second day would be harder because the first day she went in fine. She was good. But the second day they realized, oh, mom left last time and she's going to leave again. And so sometimes the second day can be harder for kids. No, she is her mother's child. She was so excited to go see friends and play the playground. And so she ran her little self onto the playground. I went to get a kiss. I leaned in to try and give her a kiss, and she just goes, bye, Mom. Like, see you later. I'm playing, which is so good, but also just like, Mama needs a kiss. But we don't force her to give kisses or anything like that. We ask for them, and she can choose to say no. She can choose to blow us a kiss. Sometimes she'll say, Mama, give me daps. So either way, she's loving school. But a while ago, I shared a video about how we feel like being a medical family, like having a mom with a medical issue has affected her, and just some of the struggles we were having with, like, when I'm gone, letting other people help her and things like that. And I shared that my sister was creating a social story for her. I did not have it at the time, but said that when I got it, I would share it so that if there are any other, whether you have cancer or some other medical issue that someone, an adult in your family is dealing with, whether it's mom or dad or maybe grandma or grandpa, I wanted to give that verbiage because what she wrote is just, at least for us, perfect and spot on. And I asked her permission. She said, yes, totally fine. She created social stories for her kids at school. She still is an SLP, but she stays home with her babies now. And she had a lot of kids that just needed social stories to help them throughout the day at school. And so she was used to creating them. So she created one for us, and I'm going to read it to you. I'm going to change baby girl's name, not change her name, but I'm going to say, instead of saying her name, I'm going to say her, just so you can fill in your own blanks, like if you are going to recreate the story. I actually had a couple of you ask if she has them anywhere available for like a template purchase. She does not at the moment, but I told her people asked, and if that ever becomes available or that's something she puts on a public platform to have access to, I will share that in my community tab. But it got printed out a little bigger because she did it in like a PDF, and so I just used a folder, just a 3-ring binder to keep the pages safe. But I'll go ahead and read it and then share kind of how it's worked for us, as well as a few other things that went along with it that have been so helpful for her, for us. But I also had some of you asking for an update. I really don't have much. My most recent update, not much has changed. I'm still having headaches, but I do think I've found a combination of stuff that's working to help throughout the day so that I'm just not miserable by the end of the day. I'm on like day 3 of my hypothesis, so I'm going to give it a little more time, and then I'll share what I've been doing that seems to be working for me. I did have a biometric screening this morning for insurance purposes, and my blood pressure is pretty low. I tend to run low, but my blood pressure this morning was 78/44, so very low even for me. I'm usually like in the high 80s to 90s over something, but I do run low, but 78's pretty low. Granted, I was fasting, but I'm wondering if that could be a reason I'm having the headaches. I don't know. I've messaged my doctors, so we will see what they say. But that's really the biggest update. Otherwise, I'm getting more energy every day. I'm feeling productive. I'm able to play longer with her and like lift her, like I can lift her fine, but like swing her and do fun things with her more often. So that's just been a blessing, and I'm grateful for that. So thank you for checking up on us. But back to her social story. So this is a social story for children who's, for me as a parent, who has a medical issue, but you could probably reword it some if it's, a grandparent, aunt, and uncle, what have you. So it's Mommy Loves Me. And then there's pictures thrown throughout. I am an amazing helper, but sometimes Mommy has to do things and I cannot help. Sometimes I need help, but Mommy is busy and cannot help me. When Mommy can't help me, Daddy, Beachy, or Surf can help. Those are her grandparents, so Beachy and Surf. You would say, whatever your grandparent name is. We can let Grandma and other people help us. When Grandma helps me, that helps Mommy too. So that was one of the big struggles we were having. My mom, she was starting to picture my mom as the one who, if I couldn't help her with something, my mom was the one that was stepping in. And so she would just be like, no, Beachy, do it. No, Beachy, do it. Mama, do it. And she was really struggling with that when I was in the middle of chemo and having to be on the couch and couldn't get up and couldn't help her. She was really struggling to let my mom help her. And so once we created this book, we would be like, let's read your story. And so we'd read her story, and then she'd let my mom help her. And it was huge. Sometimes Mommy has to leave. I am safe. Mommy still loves me. Mommy will come back. And so that was just always good because, the days that I would be in for my infusions, I was gone all day. And then I did have a couple hospital stays. So that was helpful for her. Mommy is working very hard to get better and feel good. Sometimes Mommy has to go to the hospital to see the doctors. The doctors help Mommy to feel better. And so she just got these. This is an actual picture of MD Anderson, so you could change it out to whatever hospital you go to. This is just a generic doctor picture. If your child knows you see a specific doctor, you could always replace it with a picture of your doctor. Every now and then, Mommy has to stay at the hospital for a little bit longer with the doctors. The doctors and nurses help Mommy to feel better. If Mommy has to stay at the hospital, I will stay at our Houston home with Daddy, Beachy, or Surf, but I will be able to go visit her sometimes. I have gone to the hospital to visit Mommy a bunch of times. And there's pictures of us in the hospital together. This is when she was a little older, and we took her with us just to a doctor's appointment when I was getting my PICC line cleaned, just so she could see, what happens when I'm at the doctor's and that I'm still safe and I'm okay and that they're caring for me. Sometimes Mommy is home, but she cannot play or spend time with me because she needs to nap or rest. When Mommy is able to rest, Mommy feels better. When Mommy feels better, she is able to play with me more later. It can be really hard to be away from Mommy. I might be sad or angry, and that's okay. Mommy misses me when she's away too. Just, my heart when she sent me the, link to it first before it got printed. And I just was like, girl, this is amazing. So she gives her ideas. So when I miss mommy, I cannot scream, but I can read books, play with Beachy or Surf Daddy, look at pictures of mommy, play with my toys, rest or play with Missy, that's my mom's dog, go on a daddy-daughter date, have a snack, go outside, be a helper, color. So just a list of options that she could do. And then she just filled it with pictures of me, so that pictures of mommy to look at when I miss her, so that when she misses me, she could go and look at this book and look at my pictures. And so there's just pictures of us all throughout. Lots of pictures of mommy. And then at the end, we actually have a couple of these. So this has been a super helpful tool. Where is mommy now? Mommy is. And then she put pictures and descriptions of all the places that I might be at any given time. So with me, so when I'm with baby girl, running errands, it's the car, taking a shower, because even that was a struggle. Even when daddy had her, she would want to find mommy in the shower and be with mommy. Mommy out, mommy out. Taking care of her face, that was a big one, because I have to flush my face multiple times a day. And it was especially hard for her in the morning when she would wake up. I would try and get up before her and do it, but she, like her mama, we ain't morning people. And so most of the time she's my alarm. And then my face takes me about 20 minutes from start to finish. And so now she's doing really good. She'll come, and if she wants to be with me, I'll pick out a toy and she'll just sit and play with her toy. But for a while she was really struggling to be, not near me and having me do my face. So taking care of her face, resting so she can feel better, seeing the doctors, or at the hospital to stay for a little bit. And so we have a couple of those in here just in case we need extras. And then it says, but no matter where mommy is, she is always thinking of me. She always loves me. Mommy is working hard to feel all better so we can get back to fun adventures all over the country, because we full-time RV'd for a while before we had her and really want to get back to going RVing with her when we can. It's hard being patient, but I'm a strong, brave, courageous girl, just like mommy. And so that's just a social story that you can use and, change the wording of, but I just thought that wording was so good that I wanted to share it in case you're looking for the words to share with your little ones too, if you are a parent facing cancer or some other diagnosis. So that was helpful. And then we have a bunch of the Where's Mommies. So there's 2 in the back of the book. There's this one that's laminated that we can take places. And then, I don't know if you can see it, but down there at the bottom of the fridge, there's another one, and it actually has a Velcro. It's got Velcro spots on each place, and then a Velcro checkmark. And so, where is mommy? With me. Or if I'm getting ready to leave to go somewhere, going to the doctor's, or even just going into the bathroom and doing my face, and she's playing with daddy, if she starts to kind of struggle, we'll be like, oh, don't forget, let's go move. Where's mommy? And so she comes running over here, and she picks off her little check mark and she moves it to mommy's running errands, or mommy's going to the doctor, or mommy's doing her face. And that is like a good transition for her. And she, visibly realizes this is what mommy's doing right now. And then we say, okay, let's pick something that you can do while mommy's doing this thing. And our world changed. Like, it was so helpful. It's that visual cue. Kids really need those visual, helpful, tangible, tactile, transitions. And so it's just been so good for us. And if you need a tool like that, whether it's for something like this or even for something as like getting ready in the morning, or like my sister-in-law uses hers because her husband travels a lot for work, and that has been hard on my nephew. And so they have one, it's got, instead of a check mark, it's got a little airplane, and it's like, Daddy is here, which is like, Daddy's flying to wherever he's going to be working. Okay, the next 3 nights, Daddy's where he's working, and they move the plane every night to, and then so when it's time for them to come home, he knows Daddy's coming home today. And that's been helpful for them. So just any tangible thing like that is just a huge help, support for parents in general. Like, you don't have to have a medical diagnosis to need something like this. But that's just the one we use that works for us based on where I am and where I need to be. To have the time to like focus on myself at that moment, because, you know, we've told her, Mommy taking care of her needs helps her to take care of your needs. And I've just kind of had to be okay with that. That was really hard for me in the beginning, to know that like me having to be here flushing my face is making her upset and not able to help her the way she wants me to help her right now. But knowing that I have to do this in order to help her, period. That was hard, but I've accepted that. That's just life for us now. Me having to go to the doctors is life for us now. And, you know, they tell you put your oxygen mask on first in an airplane, and I've always been like, oh, could I really do that when my kid's sitting next to me and needs her oxygen? You just have to. You have to put your oxygen mask on so that you can be the helpful parent you need to be the rest of the time. And they'll be okay for those few minutes where they, you know, need to have help from somebody else, or they need to find an activity to entertain themselves while you're taking care of yourself. It's okay. I know that that can be hard to hear, and I know that that can be it can be hard to do than hear. Like, you hear it and you're like, yeah, but then in that moment when your kid is wanting you and needing something, and, you know, that can be really hard to remember. But it's important, because your health and your well-being are needed. Those are necessities in order to care for your child the way they need to be cared for. So I've just had to embrace that and let that sink in, and that's where we're at for us. So thank you for watching. I hope that was helpful. If you are a medical parent, my heart is with you. If you're any parent, my heart is with you. Parenting is hard, but being a medical parent just adds a layer of, you know, a layer of details that you have to learn and work through. And so I hope that, you know, wherever you are in your journey, you're figuring out things that help you be the best parent you can be, or be the parent you want to be. So that's it for me. All right. Bye, everybody.